Daikage X back with another video. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. As the title suggests, this is what if Naruto had the ultimate Sharingan, all parts / the movie. It depends how I want to title it. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and share the video to a friend who likes what ifs or just anime content in general. And with that being said, comment down below your thoughts and feelings about the video. Subscribe as I want to hit 25k before Christmas. And with that being said, we can now begin the video. Naruto would be born to Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Minato in this timeline would be a full Uchiha, and Kushina would be a full Uzumaki, just like the canon. This would cause Naruto to be half Uchiha and half Uzumaki by birth. The events of the canon shall now unfold as per normal. Naruto would grow up as an orphan as 4 years would pass. Naruto at this point would be walking through the streets of Konoha when 4 kids would approach him. You see, the hate for Naruto in this timeline is much stronger than in canon, as he is also known to be both an Uchiha and the Nine Tails. Well, at least that the Nine Tails is within him. So the hate for Naruto is almost double what it should be, or what it was in canon at least. These people who were approaching him, the kids, were bullies, as they would start hitting Naruto, one by one. Naruto would start to bleed as villagers watched in awe, but nobody stopped. Even some ninja who knew the importance of Naruto didn't stop the bullies. It was only when an Uchiha police force member arrived that the battle / fight / you could even call it a beatdown on Naruto was stopped, and the others paid attention. The man's name was Taki Uchiha. Taki would tell the bullies to stop it, as they would. His presence alone was enough to make them stop attacking Naruto. Naruto would then stand up on his feet, telling Taki that he deserves it. The bullies said that he killed their families. The bullies said that I killed their families. I deserve it. No, Naruto, you didn't do such a thing. Well, it's still my fight, isn't it? But what is your name? Old guy. It's Taki, and I'm only 27. Also, I don't approve of your fight. And even if it is your own fight to fight, I don't care. Naruto. Uchiha. How'd you know my name? You're the heir of Minato, and the son of the late Kushina Uzumaki. I don't really know who those 2 people are, but what? Naruto would clench his fist, as you could say that his Uchiha and Uzumaki blood would start to boil, as the one Tomoe Sharingan would appear in his eyes. But they were different. Naruto's eyes flickered in and out of red and blue Sharingan. A mutation, Taki thought to himself. With that, he would tell Naruto that he can't let their fight continue, especially if Naruto's an Uchiha. Naruto would shake his head, telling Taki that he won't lose against these bullies. And now that I've given my word, I can't look back. Never. Whatever you say, Naruto. Wait, how do you know my name? Well, simple. If you're being called a murderer, I know exactly who you are. Uzumaki Naruto. Or Uchiha Naruto, if that's what you prefer. Oh. With that being said, Naruto would then tell the bullies to give up. They would all shake their heads as Taki would disappear using the body flicker jutsu, as he watched from afar. With that being said, Naruto would rush towards them, telling them that he did warn them. Before rushing towards them, Naruto would do a backflip, something Naruto had never done in his entire life. Naruto would then ask for a kunai from a nearby villager. A villager would pass him the kunai, as Naruto would thank the villager. Naruto would then also give all 4 bullies one, so that it was a fair fight, you could say. By Naruto's request, of course. Naruto would then hold his kunai in hand, swiftly cutting through each and every one of them, as if they were all blobs of butter. The thing was that Naruto had never held a kunai in his entire life before this point, and had managed to tag all of them without hitting their vitals. Slowly, each of them would, well, start to bleed out, as Naruto would stand valiantly in the middle of their bodies, which were now all on the floor. I mean no harm, but each of you have the right to live. So, I've decided to spare you all. And I have a right to live too. So what you did there, beating me up, it's unacceptable. It would be here that the first stage of Naruto's Sharingan would activate. I never knew that the Sharingan was this powerful. Taki! Naruto would call out as Taki would appear. With that, he would explain some things to Taki as he would continue to speak. I don't know. My everything, it's just advanced. My body doesn't even feel like its own. It feels different. Oh, and my reflexes, they're top notch. Oh, and my skill with the kunai, but my seriousness and new intellect came out of nowhere. I don't even know if I knew the word intellect before I just said it. Just like everything, I don't know, everything seems advanced now. Huh. Just like everything else, Taki thought to himself. You're an orphan, right, Naruto? Yes, Taki, I am. Well then, come with me. Since you are an Uchiha, I don't see the harm in you coming to you coming to, technically speaking, your part of town. And maybe even living there. Are you referring to the Uchiha compound? Precisely. Okay, I'll pack my bags. Naruto would get all of his stuff together as he would visit the Uchiha clan. It would be there that he would meet Fugaku and Mikoto. With that being said, Fugaku and Mikoto would learn of Naruto's descent, and knowing who Naruto's mother and father were, Fugaku would ask if Naruto would like to join their family. Naruto would say that he would like to join the family, as he would be adopted by them both. Naruto would then start to have a brother-like bond with Itachi, as well as Sasuke, and even Shisui Uchiha. With that being said, Shisui was more of a cousin figure to Naruto, and even an uncle figure at times, teaching Naruto many things. Naruto would fall asleep that night, as he would wake up in a dream. Or what he thought was a dream. It was there that he looked to his feet, and they were covered in water. He then looked up and he saw a cage. Within the cage was an orange fox. The fox would then growl at Naruto, as Naruto would look at it with contempt, asking what its name was. It was the Kyuubi. My name? You do not need to know my name, especially since you're merely a lowly human. Naruto asked once more what the Kyuubi's name was. My name, it's of no importance. You can refer to me as the Kyuubi. Okay, Kyuubi. What are you? I am the Nine-Tails. Naruto would understand exactly what that meant. So you're the beast that killed so many people in this village. But since you're here inside of me, or my mind at least, people call me a murderer. And I have to carry this burden. I have to carry this burden for what reason? You are a fool, Naruto. I'm not in your mind, and nor am I inside of you. I am sealed directly within you. And why do you have to carry the burden? Because if you don't, then I will rip each one of those bastards to shreds. Well then, why do they treat me like scum? If without me they would all be dead, I don't understand. I don't have an answer for that. I guess their loss is greater than their safety. Well, none of that matters. I'm going to formally introduce myself to you now. I am Uchiha Naruto, or Uzumaki Naruto, either one really. Oh, an Uchiha. I remember being sealed within a boy with brown hair. Well, as I got older, my hair became blonde. But, oh, there was this really cool thing that happened yesterday. I activated my Sharingan for the first time, I think, and my hair, it wasn't blonde anymore. It wasn't brown either. It was black. Isn't that cool? Kurama would sit in silence. Naruto would laugh, scratching his head. Once I get my hands on you, boy, I will kill you. Huh. Naruto would then activate his Sharingan immediately, getting serious, as he would ask Kurama a question. Kyuubi, why do you hate my clan? It's simple. Each time they've treated... Well... Each member of your clan has treated me so horribly, like scum, and I hate it. What do you mean by that? Each member of my clan? Well, the first was Uchiha Madara. He used me to fight Hashirama Senju. Oh, and then again, the masked Uchiha. Well, he used me to destroy the leaf. And oh, did I forget to mention your own father, the fourth Hokage? Well, he used me to save his damn village. I get nothing in return. No matter the deed, always being used like some slot machine. It's as if I don't even have a will of my own. Is that a good enough answer for why I hate the Uchiha clan? No. No, it's not actually. Not at all. I'd say it's very invalid. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not. Like, it's hard to explain. But you overloaded me with information. But how I see it, you judge other members of the clan based on what you know. And that's not wrong necessarily. But assuming that all Uchihas are worthless scumbags is wrong. Some of us are very nice, if you get to know us. Actually, most of us are. Even I, someone who was raised without a mother or father, and was only told about my mom and dad just recently, is a pretty nice guy, if I do say so myself. I am kind of sad. If it is true and my dad was the fourth Hokage, it would have been nice growing up with him. Anyway, don't call my clan evil. Or say that the people in my clan are evil, or mean people. Some of us can be mean, obviously, and evil, and that's just from my own personal experience. Obviously, I can't speak for all of us. But not all of us are like that. That's like a villager killing somebody, and then all the villagers are considered murderers. So keep your prejudice against my clan all to yourself, okay? Because I don't want to hear it. Naruto would shake his head in annoyance, you could say. Especially when it's about my own clan. Naruto's Sharingan would now be a vibrant red, as he would look intently at Kurama, who would growl. Those eyes. Those eyes. Those eyes I hate so very much. The ones of the Uchiha. You know the eyes too, huh? You know, they can be really nice if you don't piss them off. Anyhow, I'm leaving this place. Naruto would wake up drenched in sweat, as he would get up, washing his face, and going down to the kitchen. As he ate some rice, Naruto would see that Sasuke had been outside, practicing with the kunai, as Naruto would quickly chow down his food, approaching Sasuke, as he would grab a kunai from the ground and throw it, hitting that bullseye on the mark. Huh? Sasuke looked to Naruto, and the kunai on its bullseye. Is Is that how it's done? Yeah, that is how it's done, Naruto. Uh, um... Sasuke, it looks like you're struggling. As such, Naruto would try and work on areas of training with Sasuke. As from what he could see, Sasuke had been trying this for a long time. With that being said, Naruto would also work on other areas of training to help Sasuke get better at kunai throwing. Sasuke would ask Naruto what type of training he was talking about, as Naruto would say he's not sure, but they can work together on any kind of training that Naruto thinks of. Sasuke would nod as Naruto would find the biggest rocks he could, as he would attach a rope to them, Sasuke and the rock. Naruto would then use the other rock to attach himself to that one, as they would then slowly walk through a forest, with the weight of the rock holding them down. The idea was that eventually, due to its weight, they would first increase their speed, and then also their strength, and then also their agility. After they had outgrown the rock in speed, they would do 10 miles. And after that, they would do a 10-mile run without the rock on their backs. And they would do this each day, which would increase their speed by a big margin. That was Naruto's thought process, at least. But the issue was that sometimes their small bodies would collapse from the strain. 6 more years would pass, as Naruto and Sasuke would now be 10 years old, and powerful children of the Uchiha clan, rivaling most of the adults in the clan. Naruto and Sasuke during this time were also able to each get chakra natures of their own. Naruto gained access to fire and wind style. Being an Uchiha, he had the innate knack for fire style, and being, well, Naruto himself, he had the innate act for wind style. With Sasuke getting lightning style and fire style. He learned the lightning style from Shisui Uchiha, and they'd also picked up blades, Naruto and Sasuke. Basically what I'm saying is they now had swords, which made them much more skilled, as well as the fact that we would now have a time skip of 2 more years. In these 2 years, Naruto would now have a 6th Tomoe Sharingan. You see, Naruto has the ultimate Sharingan, so it surpasses normal Sharingan's Tomoe cap, which allowed Naruto to be able to do many things. The advanced Tomoe worked similar to giving Naruto, say, Mangekyo abilities. For instance, accessing the 6th Tomoe of the Sharingan allowed Naruto to be able to slow time. Sasuke had also gained access to the 3 Tomoe Sharingan through training with Naruto. Eventually, they would have to be put on squads, as Fugaku would request that Naruto was allowed to be on the same team as Sasuke. Being Naruto's stepdad, the request was granted. This was also due to their synergy together, as Sakura would be the 3rd member on the team. Sakura in this timeline hated Naruto because the Nine-Tails had killed her father. In this timeline, that is. So, Naruto would be sitting on a bench outside a day before the bell test, as Sakura would approach him with a kunai in hand. Sakura would say such things as murderer, a demon, and an evil person to Naruto, calling him these things. Naruto would ask why Sakura would say such things, as Sakura would tell Naruto that he had taken her father from her. Naruto would look to the ground, with his eyes now being shadowed. I see. Kyuubi. And there's no end to the amount of people that you've killed in this village. Naruto would then look back at Sakura. What was that you muttered under your breath? You demon. Sakura would then dive towards Naruto, with a kunai in hand, as Naruto would quickly slow time, grabbing Sakura by the neck and telling her that he did no such thing, beginning to choke Sakura against a tree. That was the Nine-Tails, not me. Either way, it's you. He's living inside of your body. No, Sakura. You're just like all the other villagers. I see how my brother has no interest in you, whilst you have lots of interest in him. Sorry to break it to you, Sakura, but Sasuke will never love you. Look at you, so selfish and so disgusting. You should contemplate how you would become the murderer you're trying to kill. It's just like saying you're a hero trying to kill a villain. That hero would, in theory, then become a villain themselves, depending on the ethics behind that villain. Naruto's 3 Tomoe had been activated, which made him a lot more smart and intellectual. Yeah, Naruto, you'll never be as good as Sasuke. Sasuke would come walking out of the forest. Could you two be any louder? Sakura and Naruto, what the hell are you guys even talking about? From what I'm guessing, you attacked Naruto with the kunai. Naruto now has you pinned against this tree. You two exchanged words, but I heard something. That Naruto will never be as good as me or as strong as me. Something on the lines of that. I don't know if you know this, dumb little girl, who also happens to be Sakura, my teammate. You're wrong. Naruto's taught me a lot of what I know, and besides that, he's right. I'll never love you. Look at how you treat my brother, all because of something you can't control. And look at you. You're insane. You would take Naruto's life because of what? The Nine Tails? Because of what the Nine Tails did? Not him. Yeah, I would. Well then, there. That answers my question. I would and will never love you. A day would then pass as the bell test would begin. Naruto and Sasuke would rush towards Kakashi, ready for battle. And with that being said, this has been part 1 to what if Naruto had the ultimate Sharingan within this segment. Again, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, share the video to a friend likes for this, or just anime content in general. Comment down below your thoughts and feelings about the video. Subscribe as I want to hit 25k before Christmas. And with that being said, we can now get into the recap. In the last part/segment of this video, we ended off with a brief conversation between Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto, and the bell test commencing, so we'll pick up right off there. Naruto, upon clashing with Kakashi, would do a backflip, unsheathing his blade, as he would cut into Kakashi, or so he thought, though he had managed to put a scratch through Kakashi's vest. Sakura would be writing down everything Naruto and Sasuke did, as they would ask Sakura for her assistance. Realizing that Sakura wouldn't help Naruto, Naruto would decide to activate his 6 Tomoe Sharingan. He would then slow time, as Naruto would tell Sasuke to hurry up, as he can only maintain this slowing time technique/jutsu for so long. 8 seconds to be exact. Sasuke, you only have 7 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, now 2. By the second, Sasuke would grab the bells, as he would throw one to Naruto. And Naruto and Sasuke would offer Sakura their food, as they hadn't necessarily performed teamwork. With that, Sakura in this time would be the one tied to a stump, and a brief dialogue would happen while Sakura ate her food. Sakura, you should be lucky. Why would I be lucky? Oh, it's been forever since I've eaten, so, yeah, I am quite lucky. No. That's not why you should be lucky. You should be lucky because of how you treated Naruto. That's why you should be lucky. Because if I'm being honest, you're nothing, Sakura. Just a broken, pink-haired Kunoichi. Your legacy, nothing. Your family name, nothing. Who you are as a person. I do not know what that was. My apologies, but I'm going to continue. Who you are as a person, again, nothing. You're weak, arrogant, stupid, cocky, and most of all, you're the worst Kunoichi I've ever met. Kakashi would quickly appear, saying that they all pass. Yay! That means that we're all ninjas, right, Kakashi-sensei? Well, I should have been more specific. Naruto and Sasuke pass. You fail, Sakura. Back to the academy you go. Sakura would begin to cry as she walked home. Sakura would pack her bags, leaving the leaf. Later that day, Naruto and Sasuke would then get a new genin to fill Sakura's place. A genin known as Soma Yazuna. As I just explained, Sakura would leave the Hidden Leaf Village, as she would stop at a nearby lake, falling down and into it. It had seemed that Orochimaru was nearby, as he would pull her out of the water, grabbing some fish and cooking them in a fire. As we now skip to Naruto, I should have made that a little bit more clear. Naruto at this point would just go to bed. And now back to Sakura. With that being said, Orochimaru would ask what had happened, why she had fell into the water. Sakura would say that, I guess, she didn't know. With that being said, Orochimaru would tell her that she's lucky to be alive. Without him being around, Sakura would have most likely, died. Oh. Well then, thank you, sir. As Orochimaru would ask her why she's all the way out here, since by the looks of it, she is a leaf shinobi. Sakura would explain that Kakashi Hatake, her sensei, had failed her, and her teammates, Naruto, Uzumaki, and Sasuke Uchiha, had upset her. Oh, so you plan on going back? Well, I don't know. I think I might stay out here for a little bit. Well then, would you like to join me, Sakura? What would that do for me? Well, you can have all the power that you desire. Then yeah, hell yeah, I'd like to join you. Sakura and Orochimaru would then head to a hideout of Orochimaru's. Orochimaru would do several experiments on Sakura's body, as eventually she would become so powerful that she could be considered a Jonin in strength. She had also gotten a curse mark, which made her even stronger. Eventually, Orochimaru would put her in the compartment that he used on Sasuke to fuse his curse mark with his actual chakra and basically upgrade his own curse mark. This was used back in part 1. With that being said, he would do this to Sakura's body, as Sakura's body would now be so strong that she could survive it. She would then fill a role similar to Kimamaru's, except Orochimaru didn't want her body. Her body was a last resort, as her intel and appearance could lead to the capture of Naruto and Sasuke. Eventually, the events of the canon would unfold, with Sasuke and Naruto as well as Soma having to fight Haku. This wouldn't be too much of a challenge, as we would see the team pushing each other through training. After defeating Haku and Zabuza, they would return to the village, debriefing Hiruzen, who would tell them to prepare for the Chunin exams. So, Team 7 would. Soma, Naruto, and Sasuke would prepare for the Chunin exams. As a week would pass, and the Chunin exams would begin. The written exams would be easier for Sasuke and Naruto, who were a bit smarter in this timeline. But for Soma, she just did decent, scoring about 7, which was okay. We now skip to the Forest of Death, as Sasuke, Naruto, and Soma would travel through the forest at top speeds, eventually reaching the middle, as Orochimaru would sense them, rushing through the forest and engaging in combat with them. He would then tell them that he has their former teammate, Haruno Sakura. Orochimaru would continue. You know, she's turned into quite the formidable ninja, able to rival Jonin with ease. She may even be as strong as a Kage, but that's yet to be determined. What? Sakura being as strong as a Kage? What did you do to her? No, who are you? I'm Lord Orochimaru. Well, that explains some things, Naruto would say to himself. As Sasuke would ask who Orochimaru is, Naruto would go on to explain. Orochimaru? is one of Konohagakure's legendary Sharingan. With a life ambition to learn all of the world's secrets, Orochimaru seeks immortality so that he might live all of the lives necessary to accomplish his task. Though, it should be noted, after being caught red-handed performing unethical experiments on his fellow citizens for the sake of this immortality, Orochimaru defected from Konoha rather than being persecuted for his ambitions, and for many years sought the Hidden Leaf Village's destruction. That's what people think, at least. This was theorized because it would be his, goal to enact revenge and demonstrate what he had learned to Lord Thurya. So he's a dangerous enemy. Sasuke would basically infer from what Naruto told him. And Sakura's probably become one of his experiments. And he... What else, Naruto? He frequently switches bodies. Either way, he probably wants me or your eyes. So fight cautiously. Let's go, Sasuke. Soma, watch your back. Actually, watch our back. Soma would nod, as Sasuke would unsheath his blade, clashing sword to kunai with Orochimaru. Orochimaru would watch as Sasuke would activate his two Tomoe Sharingan. Naruto would get behind Orochimaru, doing a front flip and kicking downwards, as he would hit Orochimaru. Orochimaru would tell Naruto and Sasuke that they're skilled, but not skilled enough, as he would create 4 shadow clones. He would then extend his neck to bite into both Sasuke and Naruto. It would be then that Orochimaru would bite into both of their necks, as they would fall to the ground. Though their battle was brief, they learned a lot about the Sani. Speaking of battles that were brief, Orochimaru would go on to say, "Though our battle has been brief, I've had enough fun, and I've completed what I needed to do," as Orochimaru would leave. Soma would then take her now ill teammates out of the forest, carrying them the rest of the way and getting them medical aid. The doctors would heal Naruto and Sasuke as the Nine Tails would eat away at Naruto's curse mark, leaving a small bite wound. And a small bit of the curse mark still remained, allowing Naruto to access the power of the curse mark, but the curse mark had no effect on him appearance-wise. Whereas for Sasuke, they had to seal it so that it wouldn't continue to painfully burn him, which could potentially stun his growth. The preliminaries would go as per usual, with the main difference being that Sakura isn't there, and Soma is. Instead, we now skip to Soma and Ino. Soma easily defeats Ino, and that's about it for the preliminaries. Everything goes the exact same. With that being said, we now skip to Naruto versus Neji, as we would see Naruto activate his 4 Tomoe Sharingan as soon as the battle began, which his 4 Tomoe Sharingan allowed him to copy any jutsu, including Kekkei Genkai. With that being said, it also included jutsus that could only be obtained through the use of certain dojutsus. With that, it could also put Naruto on his knees, depending on how strong the Kekkei Genkai was. Basically, what I'm saying is it could tire Naruto out to the point where he would be on his knees. With that being said, Naruto would fall to the ground, as Naruto would look at Neji, with the Byakugan now in his right eye. "Your Kekkei Genkai is strong, Neji. Very strong. I can feel it coursing through my veins." Wait, is that the people in the stands? All of the people in the stands would all grab their mouths in awe. At this time, Itachi would be killing all the Uchiha who had been prohibited to watch the exams. And with them all at the compound except for Naruto and Sasuke, it was pretty easy for Itachi to dispatch of them. With that being said, Sasuke would return to the compound during the preliminaries, as he would be talking with Fugaku and Mikoto, enjoying a nice meal. With that being said, Naruto, we can now skip back to Naruto. Naruto didn't get back up on his feet. You know, it took a lot of chakra to copy this Kekkei Genkai. I suppose this dojutsu is quite strong. Does it have any stages, Neji, that you know of? How the hell did you copy my dojutsu? The Byakugan is a sacred eye. That's right. I don't believe that the Byakugan does have any other stages. Not that I know of, at least. What about you, Neji? Do you know of any upgraded stages of the Byakugan? There are those in the clan with purer eyes. That's the only upgrade I can think of. Now you explain to me why you have my eyes. With that being said, it would be pretty easy for Itachi to dispatch of the Uchiha clan, as Itachi had spared the clan a couple years ago, and now that he had realized that they were finally going to go through with the plan of a coup d'etat, he enacted his massacre, you could say. You see, Danzo hasn't attacked Shisui yet, meaning that Shisui is also participating in the massacre of the clan with Itachi, though Shisui wanted to go the Koto and Natsukami route. With that, they would only leave Sasuke and Naruto alive. As with that, before Mikoto and Fugaku died, Sasuke would say goodbye to them, leaving and going back to the Chunin exams. It would be then that they would wait for Naruto and Sasuke to return, as Shisui and Itachi would spar with one another, just like they had when they were a couple years younger. Shisui and Itachi were sad that they had to take the lives of all the Uchiha, especially so many children. They expressed their anger in their battle, with their Mangekyo both activated. As we now switch back to Naruto versus Neji, Naruto would tell Neji that he would like to borrow his eyes, even test them out a little, as Naruto would be surprised by the range provided by the eyes, as he would innately get into the Hyuga stance, running towards Neji. Naruto would then use an Uchiha-style Great Fireball Jutsu, which Neji would use rotation to narrowly avoid. As Naruto would tell Neji to stop playing around, Neji would tell Naruto that even though he may have his eyes, he does not know the jutsu of his clan. With that, Neji would say that Naruto is in range, as Naruto would ask Neji what he meant by that, but before he could finish his sentence, Neji would strike Naruto's chakra points, causing him to fall to the ground in pain, as well as Neji yelling out 12, 24, 32, 46, 54, and so on and so forth, until he had shut down Naruto's chakra system. Naruto would then fall to the ground as Neji would gloat, though at this point Naruto can't even hear him as he's in his subconscious. No less I expected from a mere runt of the Uchiha clan. It's as I thought. Even though you copied my dojutsu, you cannot use my jutsu. Oh, and might I add, most adults would have died by this point. So you're lucky to even have a heartbeat. At this point in time, Naruto would be asking for Kurama's help, as Kurama would tell Naruto that he will give him some of his chakra, as Naruto would awaken, rejuvenated. It should be noted that during the time that Naruto trained with Sasuke, he did learn a little bit of how to access the Nine Tails' chakra, speak to the Nine Tails whenever he really wanted to / needed to, etc., etc. With that being said, Naruto is now rejuvenated from the power of the Nine Tails, as he would start beating Neji with almost ease, as he became so fast that to Neji he was a mere blur, and Neji could barely see him with the naked eye. Naruto would then slow time for 5 seconds, as he would grab Neji, pinning him to the ground. He would then tell Neji to give up, as Neji would use rotation, causing Naruto to go flying off of him. Neji would speak up. I will not lose, Naruto. You are weak compared to me. Funny words coming from you, Neji, but whatever. Go on. My father was killed, and not only that, I will forever have to protect the main branch. I don't have free will. I will always be controlled. What? I don't understand. Look, Naruto, this is exactly why I will win this battle. Neji would unbandage his forehead to reveal the curse mark on his head. You see, Naruto, this is why I'll always be better than you. Because my destiny was controlled the very moment I could walk on this earth. That's where you're wrong, Neji. Yeah, your childhood was probably pretty bad. Don't get me wrong, but not worse than my own. I never had anybody until I was 4 years old. That's when I was truly loved. But before that point, I was bullied every day and beaten for something I couldn't even control. I was centered out and unloved. So you talking about how you lost your father is nothing to me. I lost my mother and father. I never even had a mother or father. I was left alone, put in an orphanage where I nearly starved each and every day, with nobody who gave a damn about me. So you complaining to me about your issues is not my problem. As such, I will not give you the benefit of doubt. Your life was not at all worse than mine. And yeah, I get it. That feeling of dread when you're so empty. I know. I used to make shadow clones to help. Not be lonely. You don't know what that's like. But I understand, Neji. I understand your pain. And how you feel forced to serve the main branch. Actually, how you feel how you are, I can't understand. It's not the best predicament, I'd assume. Heck, it's not even close. But don't act like you had it as bad as I did, Neji. After hearing these words, Neji wouldn't know what to say, as Naruto would continue to speak. You're just an ordinary Hyuga. If you're not, then prove it to me. Prove it to me that you can change and stop with your narrow view of this destiny. Now give up before I have to end the fight for you. Neji would raise his hand to the air, telling Naruto that Naruto had won. Even though he may be right, he cannot accept defeat. And with that being said, he would tell Naruto that he'll prove to Naruto that he's wrong. He'll become a Hyuga with a righteous heart. And that's good, Neji. But I'll hold you to that. Oh, yes you will, Naruto. And I'll prove it to you. Don't you worry. Naruto and Neji would then exit the Chunin arena, as we now skip to Sasuke versus Gaara, as the other fights would go as per usual. Part 2 of the What If has now been complete. With that being said, Part 3 can now commence, with Sasuke beginning his fight with Gaara, so we'll pick up from there. Sasuke would immediately run towards Gaara as he would grab a kunai, clashing kunai to kunai with Gaara. Sasuke would jump back, creating distance between him and the Sand's strongest weapon. Sasuke would tell Gaara that he looks scared and surprised, meaning that fighting close range probably isn't his strong suit. So, Sasuke thought to himself, he'll force him out of his element. Gaara would raise an eyebrow at this claim, as Sasuke would use the Shadow Clone Jutsu, creating 5 clones of himself. All of them would then unsheathe their blades, as Sasuke carries a sword in this timeline, as you all should know at this point, rushing forward with his clones as they would all attack Gaara simultaneously, so quickly that even Gaara's sand could not block it, causing Gaara to take serious damage in a short amount of time. Gaara would then stand, with his hair now drenched in sweat. Gaara would tell Sasuke that his eyes have changed, as he looked into the now vermilion, glowing Sharingan. Oh yeah, these? Any human can see that I've just activated the One Tomoe Sharingan, one of my clan's Kekkei. A dojutsu. I've heard many stories about the Sharingan. You've piqued my interest, Uchiha Sasuke. But now you shall die. Sand bullets! Gaara would yell this as several sand bullets would come flying towards Sasuke. Sasuke would quickly dodge each and every one of these, asking why Gaara would use such pointless attacks. As Sasuke said this, he would quickly appear beside Gaara, kicking him. This would send Gaara flying to the ground, as Gaara would tell Sasuke to keep going. Sasuke would say sure, as he would do a front flip, landing beside Gaara, as he would be blocked. Why did Gaara ask Sasuke to keep going? Well, it's due to the fact that Gaara hasn't had a challenge like this ever. With that being said, Gaara's sand would block Sasuke, as Sasuke would cut through this sand with his sword, getting his clones to help him yet again, as Sasuke would throw his clones on top of Gaara. Sasuke would then grab his blade, stabbing it through the clones and into Gaara. Gaara would scream as sand would appear all around Gaara, a sand dome to be exact. The sand dome would then appear around Gaara as Sasuke would ask what this was. Gaara would tell Sasuke that he shall not lose, as the dome would close. Sasuke would do a triple backflip, using the wall behind him to catapult himself towards Gaara at high speeds. Sasuke would then kick downwards onto the dome, as a giant spike would come out of the dome, slicing the side of Sasuke's leg, as he would quickly dismiss the pain, punching the dome with his right hand instead. Sasuke would then be stabbed by another spike, as he would jump back, using the dome to get onto the wall of the arena, catapulting off of the sand dome and basically jumping onto the arena wall. Sasuke would then activate his Chidori, which Sasuke does have at this point in time from training with Kakashi, which he still did in this timeline. With that being said, Sasuke, upon activating the Chidori, would pause as he gathered lightning chakra. A few seconds afterwards, Sasuke would rush towards Gaara, hitting him with his Chidori, which Sasuke would watch as Gaara's spikes would protrude from the dome. With that, Sasuke would move at the last minute, as he would now have his two Tomoe Sharingan open. Guy would cross his arms in the stand as he would speak. Whether it's called the 1,000 Birds or Lightning Blade, even the Chidori, it's a technique of unimaginable power, requiring almost inhumane amounts of speed and chakra. But once perfected, it transforms the ninja's arm into an indestructible and invincible sword. A dangerous technique that shouldn't be taught lightly, Kakashi. Kakashi, standing behind Guy, would agree. Lee would also nod, saying that the gates are a very powerful and dangerous technique as well. Sasuke would pull his hand out squeamishly, or squeamishingly, as blood would drip from his hand. Sasuke would tell Gaara that he had had enough of him, hiding in his dome, as a hole would be made by Sasuke's Chidori. Gaara would then look through it, as Sasuke would go wide-eyed. Is that really a human being? It looks like a demon in there, Sasuke thought to himself, as Gaara would appear out of the dome. As the sand that the dome was made out of would pour onto the ground. It looks like you finally stopped hiding in there, Gaara. Wait, what? He's injured? Sasuke thought to himself as Gaara would breathe heavily, holding his breath, as the dome had broken before the change was complete into the Shukaku. Something's different about him, Sasuke had thought to himself. This time, the person who would activate the Genjutsu is Sakura instead of Kabuto. The match would then be called by the, ninja surrounding and the Chunin exam's proctor, as the invasion would begin. Sakura would sit in the arena as she would watch as Sasuke and Gaara ended their fight, and they looked up to view the Genjutsu. As they watched as all the villagers started to fall to the ground in their chairs. With that being said, many sounded Sand Ninja now appeared in the arena. To keep up her identity, Sakura wore a mask, as Sakura would then watch as Kakashi formed a squad. A squad of Sasuke, Soma, and Naruto, as well as Shikamaru, to go after the Sand Genin who had escaped. As Sasuke would rush in front, with Naruto, as Soma and Shikamaru would fight the Sound Ninja in the forest. Soma would tell Shikamaru to use Shadow Possession Jutsu to hold them, and she'll use her Kekkei. Soma would then say that we Yazunas are a powerful clan that reside within Konoha, and I hereby state that we won't let you run around invading our wonderful village. Soma would put a hand sign together as she would say, lock on. Shikamaru would tell Soma that he can only hold this many people for so long, as Soma would nod. She would then say that this is her clan's specialty, their special jutsu, lock on. Soma would then do a flip, kicking one of the Sound Ninja. This is the scene where Shikamaru held all the Sand Ninja, and then his hold is starting to break, and Asuma appeared, killing all of them. But instead, Soma is here instead of Asuma. With that being said, Soma would kick one of the, what appeared to be Jonin/Chunin, as she would then do a flip, kicking another one. Soma would then get behind another, hitting him in the back of his neck. as she would run through the rest with a kunai, hitting them all in their vitals and killing them. And that is my Kekkei Genkai, lock-on, which allows me, the user, to pinpoint each vital on my opponent's body, as it guides my body to it, almost like a call to action, if you will, or even like a magnet. My body acts as a magnet that allows me to strike every vital in a person's body. Oh, well, that's cool, Shikamaru would say. But I'm too lazy for such a Kekkei Genkai. Ugh. So much work. Soma would laugh, as they would start walking towards Naruto and Sasuke's location. Shino would then catch up with Kankuro, as their fight hadn't finished. Naruto and Sasuke would be fighting Gaara, as we would see Soma and Shikamaru arrive. As Soma and Shikamaru would be held up against trees at this point by Gaara's sand hands. Naruto and Sasuke would then beat Gaara like how they did in canon, as they would be tired on the floor, panting heavily. Naruto wouldn't be as beaten up here. The same goes for Sasuke, as Naruto has his Sharingan and Sasuke has the 3 Tomoe, but they would still be heavily injured. Naruto would then start to speak, as he would speak. Gaara, I know what it's like, being looked down upon by each and every person in your village. You know, I'm certain that if I didn't meet Shut up, Naruto! You don't know a damn thing. You don't know what it's like. None of it. You didn't let me finish. If I hadn't met people like Iruka-sensei or Taki, I would have ended up just like you. Wait, people love you? Yes, Gaara, people do. And that love keeps me going every single day. I see. Then that's why we're exactly not the same. Because you're loved and I'm hated! I could never live for hatred. Though hatred can make people strong, but not in the right way. I see. But have you lost anyone? Yeah, Gaara. I have. Nobody has died that I know directly. Well, after I got on this earth, that is. You see, as a kid, or rather as a mere infant, my mother and father were killed. And the Nine Tails was placed within me. But I had a friend, kind of. We were more of acquaintances, even though she wouldn't consider me her friend. Her name, it was Sakura Haruno. Sakura? Yes, Gaara, Sakura. I was a bit mean to her because she had the narrow-minded view that each of the villagers had. You know, about me being a demon. But besides, I lost her. She left the village a few months ago. And ever since, I've never seen or heard from her. A girl with pink hair would walk out from a few trees. Well, you have now. Are you? Yes, I am Sakura Haruno. Naruto would hug Sakura as Sakura would hug Naruto back. Sasuke would watch Sakura closely, telling Naruto to stop hugging her, as Sakura pulled out a kunai, stabbing Naruto. Naruto would be pushed to the ground as Sakura would tell Naruto to ask for consent next time he hugs her. You lousy fox. Naruto couldn't find the words to speak as Sakura stomped on Naruto. Sasuke and Gaara would watch, unable to move. Gaara couldn't move because he felt like each bone in his body had been cracked, and Sasuke because of his curse mark, reopening and sealing his movements. Sakura would then speak. Naruto, Sasuke, and Gaara. Nice to meet you all. You are the son of the Kazekage. You are the son of the 4th Hokage. And you are the son of Fugaku Uchiha. Sakura would then kick Gaara into a nearby tree, as Gaara would spit out blood, falling to the ground in pain, as he would clench the dirt beneath him with his palm. Damn you. And the good things that Naruto said about you. He cared about you, and you disregarded him as if he was trash. Ah, shut up already, you red-haired brat. Now on to you, Sasuke. Sakura would crack her knuckles as she would activate stage 1 of her curse mark, slamming her fist into Sasuke. Sasuke would then pass out as Sakura would continue. It looks like all of you are coming with me. Sakura would then create 3 shadow clones, as each of them would carry one of the 3. It would be there that Naruto would disappear and reappear, as he would then appear in front of Sakura. Sakura, I'm so sorry about what? About what happened before, but unfortunately, using the remaining strength I have left due to you stabbing me in my back, quite literally, I will be using the summoning jutsu. Gamabunta will come and he will kill you! Now, summoning jutsu! Gamabunta! With that, before Naruto could muster out the chakra to summon Gamabunta, Sakura would pierce a kunai through Naruto's lung, as Naruto would pass out. Sakura would then arrive at Orochimaru's hideout. These are the ones you wanted and requested, right, Kabuto? Yes, Sakura. Lord Orochimaru will be quite pleased with your progress. Now hand them over to me. Sakura would knee Kabuto in the stomach, telling him that she doesn't need to be babysat, and that she can deliver them herself. Kabuto would note that Sakura had gotten stronger from their last encounter, as Orochimaru would be given Naruto, Uchiha/Uzumaki, Sasuke, Uchiha, and Gaara Kazekage's bodies. Orochimaru would throw them all in test tubes, as Orochimaru didn't want to take any of their bodies, not yet at least. Even Sasuke's, because if it couldn't withstand the cells of the Senju, which is something that Orochimaru puts in each of his most trusted comrades now, then his body would be useless, since in his mind there are several Uchiha just lying around. A few days would pass as they would awake, banging on the glass. The water would then be drained as they would break the glass. Damn you, they would all say in sync, as Naruto would realize no one was around, but their injuries were completely healed. Orochimaru would then walk into the room, telling them where they were and how they got there. Naruto would then explain who Orochimaru was to Gaara, as Gaara would understand. So I see the curse mark on you is starting to fade, Naruto, meaning that it's probably your Biju chipping away at it. So it would be of no use to place the curse mark on Gaara. So one of you will die by Sakura's hand. Most preferably Gaara as well. Naruto, you can be used in more experiments. And Sasuke? Well, you have the Sharingan, so you're valuable to me. Orochimaru would tell Sakura to kill Gaara and Naruto as a show of loyalty. Sakura would nod as she would walk into the lab room, picking up Naruto, as she would throw a kunai directly into Gaara's chest, causing him to fall into the ground. This kunai was special, though. It contained a hidden seal that prohibited his movements. Naruto would then try to free himself, as Naruto would tell Sakura that she can't beat him. Not as she could last time. He was already beaten up before. Sakura would shake her head, as she would activate her own curse mark. Sakura and Gaara would quickly stand, as Orochimaru would hold them down, extending his arms by using snakes. Gaara and Sasuke would then watch as Sakura would continue. I'm told that taking out a Jinchuriki's Biju is one of the most painful ways to die. What exactly are you hinting at? Sakura would then perform a basic extraction seal, as she would put her hand into Naruto's stomach. You see, Naruto, your dreams of becoming Hokage, well, they shall cease to exist, as you will die. Naruto would go wide-eyed, hearing that he will die, as he would start to scream. Gah! Gah! Stop it, Sakura! Please! Oh, there's a lot to pull here. Kabuto! Sakura would yell out as Kabuto would appear. Sakura would then ask for a sealing compartment that can hold a Biju. Kabuto would nod, grabbing a sealing box that contains whatever is put in it. Sakura would then grab the Nine Tails, directing it into the sealing box. The Nine Tails would be too much for Sakura to handle, as it would go back into Naruto's body. But because of the disruption to Naruto's seal, the Nine Tails would try to escape from Naruto at this point, as Biju Chakra would surround his now unconscious body. Minato and Naruto would then have the conversation that they had in the original. But before Minato could reseal Naruto, Orochimaru would. Minato, seeing this, would tell Naruto that if he gets in a situation like this yet again, that he can save him, but try to avoid it. Naruto would nod, saying goodbye to Minato, as he would hug his father, being brought back to consciousness, as he would watch Orochimaru walking away from Naruto. Sakura, just kill him normally, please. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord Orochimaru. It won't happen like it did before. Naruto would then fall to the ground as Sakura knocked his legs down. Naruto's hair would be down as it was drenched in sweat and blood at this point. Sakura would then grab Naruto's sword, saying that she'll borrow it for a bit, as she would stab it into Naruto. But before she could make impact with his body, she, Sasuke, Gaara, Kabuto, and Orochimaru would be sent flying to opposite sides of the room, as Naruto would stand, panting heavily. He would then stare at Sakura. What are those eyes, Naruto? Sakura would say, before she would pass out. You know, Sakura, I have had just enough of you complaining and backstabbing us with dirty tricks. Extracting the Nine Tails, really? Naruto would pick up his blade, as Orochimaru would look deeply into Naruto's eyes. Those eyes, they're the eyes that are rumored, but never seen, known but unknown. The eyes of the Sage of Six Paths, the Rinnegan. And with that being said, this is What If Naruto had the Ultimate Sharingan, part 3 of this What If, obviously. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as I do want to hit 25k by Christmas. Share the video to your friend likes for this, or just anime content in general. Comment down below your thoughts and feelings about the video. With that being said, part 3 has now been completed. And now we shall get into a small recap of what had just happened. We basically ended off with Sakura attempting to extract Kurama from Naruto, but it was unsuccessful, causing Orochimaru to reseal Naruto. Eventually, Naruto would fall to the ground, as the Rinnegan would activate within his eyes. Orochimaru would then recognize the eyes as being the eyes bestowed upon the Sage of Six Paths. Naruto would use Almighty Push, as he would walk over, grabbing his sword and kicking Sakura across the room. Naruto would tell Sakura and Gaara to take care of the gray-haired man, and that is where we begin the normal story, who we know as Kabuto. As Naruto would use the Rinnegan with near complete mastery, he would then use his second Rinnegan ability, pulling Orochimaru's soul from his body. Sasuke would kick Kabuto into the wall as the building would start to collapse. Sasuke would tell Naruto that they can fight another day and that they have to run, as Naruto would nod, running out of the hideout with Gaara and Sasuke at his side. They would then look at the collapsed building, as Naruto would then see their heads pop out from the ground, as he would walk over to the three of them. Sakura, I will take you back to the leaf. And Orochimaru, well, I will be burying you in cold blood for the many sins you've committed in this world. And you, what was your name again? Kabuto? I will leave you to the same fate as your master, whatever that will be. Oh, and I'll do it before I become Hokage. Believe it! Kabuto would speak up. An ambition like that will only get you killed, Naruto. You're not the first one to say that, but you will be the last. Anyways, farewell to you all. Naruto and Sasuke, as well as Gaara, would leave, as Naruto would say that they need to get home, as they probably have search teams looking for them by now. Naruto and Gaara, as well as Sasuke, would return to the leaf, as Naruto and Sasuke would say goodbye to Gaara, as we would now see Naruto and Sasuke get bandaged up and report back to the current Hokage, who would still be Hiruzen, as in this time Orochimaru would be at a heavier disadvantage due to his battle with Naruto and Sasuke compared to the canon, making it a tie where Orochimaru fled. Hiruzen would be shocked at the news, as Hiruzen would tell Naruto that they must go back and retrieve Sakura, as her intel is of the utmost importance, and she is a rogue ninja. Naruto and Sasuke would nod as they would ask Hiruzen when he'll dispatch a squad to capture her. Hiruzen would say within a month, as Naruto and Sasuke would nod. They would then leave the room. We must. Naruto and Sasuke would then make their way home, as everything was silent. A gut feeling would force them to pick up their pace as they began to run home. They would then be in the heart / the middle of the Uchiha compound, as they would see Shisui and Itachi sparring. As in the last part, I explained that Itachi and Shisui had killed the entire clan and were sparring to pass time at this time. Itachi would tell Naruto to go inside and say hello to their parents, as they would both go inside. Slight pause. I remembered something. Though it's not too important to the actual video, it is something that should be noted. 9/11 occurred about 20 years ago yesterday. On the recording of this What If, so probably about like an hour or two ago, before this What If was recorded, 20 years ago, 9/11 happened, so I just wanted to take a brief moment of silence, if that was okay with you. Only 10 seconds, to honor the people that died in that accident. With that being said, that is approximately 10 seconds with my count. My heart goes out to anyone affected by 9/11, though most of the people watching probably weren't affected by 9/11 specifically, but if any of you were, then I am so sorry for what happened to you. Back to the video, though. With that being said, Naruto and Sasuke would enter their home, as they would say hello to their parents. They would then enter the home, which was also silent. Naruto and Sasuke shook it off, as Fugaku and Mikoto would, be upstairs, you could say. Or rather, they were, in Naruto and Sasuke's eyes, asleep, as the house was so quiet. Dread would creep back into their bodies as they saw the mortally wounded bodies of Fugaku and Mikoto. Naruto and Sasuke would then hear Fugaku speak, slowly and quietly, as he would tell them that they have worked so hard to live up to his expectations, and that he's glad to have such loving sons. Fugaku would tell them that Mikoto has already passed on, just minutes before your arrival. But I want to tell you guys that I, Fugaku Uchiha, as Fugaku would open his eyes widely, I love you both, with my dearest love. But since Itachi spared you two, please don't kill him. But father, before I die, I'll reword it. If it comes down to it, and your rage is that powerful, then fine. But let fate decide what happens to your elder brother. Goodbye, my children. Naruto and Sasuke would go wide-eyed, as tears would flow down their faces. God! Naruto would scream, Itachi! As Shisui would then hear Sasuke scream, Shisui. Their eyes would both close, Sasuke and Naruto, that is, as they would now reopen, spinning. Naruto and Sasuke would grab their eyes. Why does it burn? Sasuke and Naruto would say, as they would wipe their eyes. The burning sensation would then slowly go away, as Sasuke would now have the Mangekyo Sharingan, and Naruto had managed to unlock the UMS, otherwise known as the Ultimate Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto and Sasuke would walk out of their home. With that being said, Sasuke and Naruto would say casually, Are you sure? Are you sure that you two killed Fugaku and Mikoto, her mother and father? With that being said, Itachi would say, laughing to himself, Me and Shisui took care of them quite quickly. It was sad, but, life's life. Now how are you two? Do you even show remorse for your now dead parents? Nothing, not even a tear? Yes, Sasuke. You see, taking their lives was as easy as tearing paper. How could you, Itachi? Naruto would say. How could you? Naruto would then punch Itachi as Itachi would fly into a nearby building. And you, Shisui, why? Why did you do it? Oh, Naruto. Since you're so eager to know, I did it for sport. Just like Itachi. Sport? Tusk. What do you mean, sport? No human would kill an entire clan just for sport. That was their own sport. Sasuke would then continue. You know, Shisui, you and Itachi were my idols. But now I fear I will have to take the lives of those people that I once loved. But now that I think about it, you're no longer even Uchihas. Uchiha Shisui and Uchiha Itachi. You're demons. And you're the demon. You're the darkness. You're the wrath within the monster. The inhumane being that was once my idol. Both of you. You're no longer Shisui or Itachi. So taking your lives will be simple. Just as simple as tearing paper. Naruto would then hold Shisui in place with a headlock, as Shisui would watch as Sasuke activated the Chidori, piercing into and through Shisui's body. Shisui's body would then start to disappear into several crows, as it would reappear. Sasuke would look like, I guess you could say, he wouldn't look too good. With that being said, Sasuke would look to the ground. I suppose it's not going to be as easy as cutting paper. Itachi, let's go now. Yeah, sure thing, Shisui. Itachi would hold his eye in pain, as the infinite Tsukiyomi would be casted. Sasuke and Naruto would then endure what felt like 1,000 years of their parents' death. 365 days a year. This would eventually fully activate their Mangekyo, as Sasuke and Naruto would exit the Genjutsu. With their wills now destroyed, Shisui and Itachi were gone, but Naruto and Sasuke now lied on the floor, with saliva falling from their mouths, as they couldn't fathom what had happened. Sasuke and Naruto would stand, walking out of the clan compound, as they uttered the word, Itachi, Shisui, Itachi, Shisui. Each step they took, they muttered the same thing under their breaths, Itachi, Shisui. Naruto and Sasuke would then reach a hospital, as they would collapse right in front of it. But with that, Soma would find them, taking them to a nearby forest. Naruto and Sasuke, I saw you guys collapsed outside of a hospital. I took you guys here because they won't be able to heal this kind of damage. From the looks of it, you guys aren't beaten by battle, but by both physical pain and emotional pain. Is that right? Naruto and Sasuke were unresponsive. With that being said, they would close their eyes, entering a deep coma. Before they did, Naruto grasped onto the little, I guess you could say, sane part of his mind. Soma, thank you. Thank you for everything. You've been an amazing teammate. Oh, and an amazing friend, too. After you've done everything you can for us to heal us, take us to a hospital and leave us there. Soma would do so, listening to Naruto's orders. As Naruto and Sasuke would enter a coma for 14 days. Naruto and Sasuke would immediately leave the hospital upon waking up, as they would meet outside. Shisui and Itachi are too much for us to deal with, so we'll save Sakura before she's killed by whatever squad Hiruzen dispatches. Naruto and Sasuke would both nod, as they would rush through the forest. With that, they would eventually find the hideout which Sakura was in, which was in their favor, as Sakura would sense their presence. She would quickly call upon the Sound Five, which were with her. Even the likes of Kimimaro, who was a position below Sakura, who is actually the leader of the Sound Five in this timeline. Sakura would tell them to take out Sasuke and Naruto, as they would immediately activate Stage 1 of their curse marks. They would all rush through Sasuke and Naruto. As Sasuke would activate his Mangekyo Sharingan, Naruto would put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder as a stream of flames would coat each one of the Sound Five. Naruto would then yell out, "Perfect," activating his 7 Tomoe Sharingan, which allowed him to have an ability similar to Soma's Kekkei Genkai that allows him to basically lock onto people and guided his body to the vitals of his opponents. Naruto would then grab Sasuke's blade and his own, quickly slashing through all of them as their bodies continued to burn. He would then throw Sasuke back his sword as they would begin to head towards the last one, whose name was Kimimaro, who had managed to pad off the flames before they grew too much. Naruto and Sasuke would crack their knuckles as they would tell Kimimaro to give up. Kimimaro would shake his head as Naruto would speak. "Well, I did warn you. You see, me and my brother are now in a whole other league." Naruto would then activate his 8th Tomoe Sharingan, using powerful genjutsu on Kimimaro, which made him turn against orders, meaning that he would now attack Sakura. As Sakura would dodge, activating her curse mark, Naruto would then continue. "Sakura, no point in trying to match his strength. With this genjutsu, he forgets both his humanity and the limits he has. I noticed that he has a sickness that prevents him from doing certain things. That is now gone. Oh, and also he has no fear." He doesn't even know what fear is. Huh? Oh, did I forget to mention? The natural pain receptors in his brain have been shut off due to my genjutsu, meaning that he no longer feels pain. Oh, and the pain output, so the pain that he can inflict, the receptors blocking his physical strength from going too high, well, those are blocked as well. What? What is what any human would say after hearing what I said? But it's true. You're practically dead, Sakura. But I won't allow you to be defeated by this scum. As Kimimaro almost, I guess you could say, killed Sakura, Naruto would snap Kimimaro's neck as Kimimaro would fall to the ground. Blood would then start to leak from his body as Sakura would then see Orochimaru and Kabuto walking out of the hideout with an unknown figure behind them. This was Uchiha Madara, great shinobi of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke and Naruto immediately recognized him as Madara Uchiha. They grew up their whole lives being told stories and fables of the great shinobi Madara. With that being said, if Madara is alive, then everything that they learned as children was wrong. But this couldn't be the case. With that being said, Kabuto would laugh. "Sakura, we would like to test Madara's strength on you if that's okay." Oh, yeah, sure. This fight can wait, right?" Naruto and Sasuke looked at Madara in awe. "Sakura, you're a dead man if you start this fight. But whatever. I am Madara Uchiha. They have told me that I'm much stronger than when I was alive. So I will test that. Yes, let's fight." Okay, so here is where I'll let Daikage X hop on the mic, I suppose. Because, well, in the original series, I got a lot of comments on how people wanted Sakura dead, like dead. But to be honest, I was kind of vibing with Sakura's character, as I thought that I made her character so much better than she was in the canon, and so much stronger. But it is what it is, as Darius shall now get into it. I was going to use the original audio clip of Darius's part, but I am actually going to have Darius play or rather recreate a new version of his part of this what if. And with that being said, Daikage X shall now continue. Sakura then fell down before getting back up and flexing his massive chakra reserves before blitzing Sakura. Madara then poured chakra into his fingertips before extending his arm and ripping into Sakura. Madara then penetrated his fingers into Sakura before wrapping his hand on her heart. Sakura then coughed up blood, begging for mercy. Madara then ripped out Sakura's heart before dropping it on the ground and stomping on it. Sakura then fell on her knees before falling down and dying with a complete and utter lifeless expression. Madara looks down at Sakura, smiling, and saying, so this is the strength of my new body. Not even a dent. And that is it. This has been, well, some of you might know me as Daikage X, others as Lord Chad, but this has been Daikage X, and I am out. That was Daikage X. Please, everyone who watched this video, go subscribe to him. His link is in the description down below. And again, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. We ended off with Sakura being killed at the hands of Uchiha Madara, and we'll pick up right from there. Also, make sure to subscribe to my second channel in the description down below, Yonko Rami. We can now continue. Naruto and Sakura would be devastated. Well, Sakura was dead. As far as Sasuke goes, he would also be devastated, as they watched Sakura's lifeless body fall to the ground. How could it be? How could you, Madara? Just a test? Well, yes, Madara needed to see if he was stronger than himself while alive. You bloody fool. I'll kill you for that. Wait. Orochimaru and Kabuto. Who are these boys? They were fighting Sakura before, and now they're upset. Do they know her? Yes, Madara. They were her former teammates. But don't worry about that. No. I'd like them to fight me. Sakura wasn't enough. Naruto's heart would skip a beat as he would yell out, Sakura wasn't enough? How dare you say such things? Rocks would start to fly around Naruto. I can't. No, I won't forgive you. Not for this. An orange chakra would then surround Naruto's body, as all of the chakra would flow back into Naruto, seeping into his body. Naruto would now have the eyes of the Kyuubi, mixed with his Sharingan. I think that you're gonna die. Strong words for a boy who barely looks 12. You're right about that, but not right about my strength. You'll pay! Naruto would slow time, kicking Madara as quick as he could, and throwing 3 kunai towards him, with paper bombs attached at the ends. These kunais would sink into Madara's body, as they would all explode. Madara would then piece himself back together with the Edo Tensei. What the? Naruto would say as he would ask what type of jutsu that is. Kabuto would chip in. Oh, it's called the Edo Tensei. You see, only sealing jutsu can be used on him. Now. I see. And since Naruto took a 5-day training break with Sasuke, he knew the ninth Tomoe's power. Basically what I'm saying is, Naruto did take a 5-day training break before he left to go find Sakura. With that being said, he knew the ninth Tomoe's power, as Sasuke would then be called upon by Naruto. Sasuke would outstretch his hand, as Naruto and Sasuke would hold hands. Lightning would then appear all around him, as Naruto would thank Sasuke for the speed. Naruto had given, I guess you could say Naruto had been given lightning armor. Naruto would then thank Sasuke for the speed as he would rush towards Madara. Before Madara could land a blow on Naruto would punch Madara into a nearby tree. Madara would have no time to stand, as a chakra of some sort would consume him. Naruto at this point would have his hand outstretched towards Madara. You see, this is the legendary sealing jutsu of my clan. Is this enough to send you back to the afterlife? This is the legendary sealing jutsu of the Uzumaki clan, to be exact. With that being said, a gigantic explosion would erupt as Naruto and Sasuke would jump back, as the explosion made them cough up smoke. And after the smoke cleared, it would unveil Madara Uchiha, good as new, but different now. A blue Susanoo ribcage now surrounded his body, as it then started to get bigger and bigger, measuring as big as a skyscraper at this point. Madara would then slam one of his swords down to kill Sasuke, who would jump, shooting a combined Uchiha-style Great Fireball Jutsu with Naruto, as Madara would then pause. So that's when you're so powerful. You two are members of my dear clan, the Uchiha. Madara would put down a Susanoo as he would jump towards the both of them, putting his hands on their shoulders as he would look into their eyes. Naruto and Sasuke would remember the threat of Genjutsu, as they would cover their eyes, but it was too late. Madara had already casted a Genjutsu. Naruto's body would go numb as they would fall to the ground. Naruto and Sasuke would then awake from the Genjutsu as Madara would start walking away, turning around as he would speak. I am only sparing you two within this Genjutsu because you are Uchiha. May we meet again on the battlefield. What in the... Huh? Well, to be more exact, may we meet again in the battlefield. Well then, I will not be as kind. With that being said, within the Genjutsu, they had seen the events of Madara's life in mere seconds, as they would both stand, grabbing Sakura's body, and breaking out of the Genjutsu. They would then carry Sakura's body back to the Leaf Village, as they would deliver it to Hiruzen. You wanted her body, didn't you, Hiruzen? You weren't supposed to kill her. I would rather us be known as the guys who tried to save our teammate and failed, than the guys who didn't try and let both Anbu and valuable ninja die. Or let their friend be killed. She would die either way, based off of these circumstances, Naruto and Sasuke. No, you weren't there. We watched as Sakura's body fell to the ground. Her last words were sorry. And you can't begin to feel a shred of our pain, because that death is on our hands now. She wouldn't have left the village if we didn't talk to her like that. So what a ninja is not what we were. A ninja should never abandon their comrade. I expected better. You let our clan get slaughtered, and now this? Huh? It's pretty obvious your Anbu have surveillance everywhere. You tell them to hide their chakra. But I know they were there. And they didn't step in. Clearly, you and the other elders don't care about our clan. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from? Me and Sasuke's entire family is dead! That's not fair. Not at all. So why should we care about you? No, why should we care about the whole entire goddamn village? Naruto and Sasuke would decide to leave the village, vowing to return in 4 years. So they would. Naruto and Sasuke had quit being ninja, as the trauma of losing their entire clan and then watching Sakura be killed was enough for them to retire as ninja. They would still train, but they didn't do missions, as their great names disappeared from the Leaf's record and the Great Ninja World. There were many Anbu the entire Anbu squad to be exact, who were sent to take care of Sasuke and Naruto as they had become rogue ninja. But during this time period, they would learn a move very similar to the Rasengan, called the Rasengan, as it's based off the jutsu, with the only difference being that it's made out of both water and pure chakra. Naruto and Sasuke would also develop many more jutsu together and would also have some more summoning contracts that they would obtain. Sasuke would get an eagle summoning and Naruto would get a toad summoning. Another toad summoning to be exact, as he does have Gamabuta. And Sasuke would also decide that it's time to make their names known in the ninja world yet again, as the 4 years had passed. They would then both jump off of a cliff, and a group of bandits were right below it, / right below the cliff. With that being said, they would dispatch of all of them with only a few swings of their swords. Hiruzen and the Leaf would take notice of this, the mass killing of bandits, ninja from other nations, and the mass spread of the Uchiha's name was something everybody noticed and nobody could ignore. Something so extraordinary it was almost unnatural. Hiruzen knew that in his old age he wasn't fit to be Hokage, so he would send a squad to find the Sannin, Tsunade. As they would, she would then be forced into the role of Hokage, as Kakashi would continue to fight ninja in search of both Naruto and Sasuke, feeling as if it was his responsibility and fault, and that he had failed his students, something he couldn't bear to live with. It also permanently activated his Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto and Sasuke would visit the Cloud Village, as they would immediately be noticed and noted as Sasuke and Naruto Uchiha. Naruto and Sasuke would be enjoying some ramen, as they would be interrupted by someone breaking their table in half. It was A, the Raikage. "Why did you do that?" Naruto would ask, as A would say, "Because you two are the Uchiha brothers, Naruto and Sasuke. And I don't want you two in my village. Failure to comply with my orders will demand that you two are persecuted and killed." "I don't think so," Sasuke would say. "You see, we were enjoying our meal, and now we're still hungry. I can deal with being hungry. But my brother here, Naruto, he could not." Naruto would then prepare a Rasengan under the remains of the table, as he would tell A that having manners is a key to being a great member of society. Naruto would quickly slam his Rasengan into A, as A would be sent flying through the wall of the store and into a nearby streetlight. Ninja all around would prepare to fight Naruto and Sasuke, as Sasuke would throw a bag of Ryo into the hands of the man who owned the store. "Sorry for the disruption. Use that money to repair the table and the wall. This kind of damage tends to happen in places like this we go. We're so sorry. We didn't tell you. Are you sure I can keep all of this money?" "Yes, keep the money." Okay. Well, thank you." "No problem. Just don't go giving us a bad reputation. I want everybody to know that Sasuke Uchiha and Naruto Uchiha corrected A on his bad table manners. And, well, I also... Well, Sasuke would pause. What does he want to be known for, he thought to himself. Defeating a Kage, anything. Huh. Sasuke would then pay no more attention to it. "Let's go, Naruto. Make sure to avoid their vitals. They're ninja. They're not bandits who have thrown their lives away. They're ninja who have families. People who care about them." Is that the Uchiha brothers? Sparing lives?" A would stand. "Yes, it seems to be the case. They are known for not only defeating each of their enemies, but also leaving each alive that is not a bandit. That is, they truly care for family, I believe. They may even yearn for a family." Naruto and Sasuke would then cut through each of the ninja, as they would all fall to the ground, except for A, who would stand tall and valiant, as his lightning armor protected him. "I'm not like all those bandits you defeated in those mountains. I'm the Raikage." "Oh, we never introduced ourselves either. I'm Naruto Uchiha, and he is Sasuke Uchiha. Now let's fight." Naruto would stop time, as he and Sasuke would quickly cut through A's defense in time. As time would then replay, A would wonder why he took so much damage, as Naruto and Sasuke would then kick A. A would land using his Stage 2 lightning armor, as he would quickly use Lariat on Sasuke. In terms of physical power, we know who has the upper hand, and in speed as well. Sasuke would lie on the floor, as Naruto would quickly raise his hand to the sky. "Where do you think you're going, eh?" "Sun Sphere! With my ultimate Mangekyo Sharingan, I can draw on the power of natural things. This time I choose the sun." "What the?" "Now, Sun Sphere!" Naruto would throw the sphere, as it would make contact with A's body. A would burn, regulating the flames to only his left arm, as the flames would then vanish, as his arm would be charged from the damage. A would fall to the ground due to Sasuke kicking him in his legs, as he would then say, "Actually, A, it seems like to me we have the advantage at both power and speed." The Raikage would struggle to get the words off of his tongue. "I will defeat you both." "Cut the crap. Just admit it. Admit defeat to the almighty Uchiha brothers." Or don't, Naruto would say, doing a flip, kicking downwards and hitting the Raikage in his head, as the Raikage would pass out, suffering a small and slight concussion. With that, Naruto and Sasuke would then leave the village and return to the Leaf. Once there, they would visit the old Uchiha compound that was now abundant with people. There was people everywhere. They had entirely remodeled the place, with people looking everywhere. There was just everywhere. People were just everywhere is the point. That sounded really repetitive. I'm so sorry about that. With that being said, Naruto and Sasuke would then look at what they've done to the place as they would continue. I don't see a single memorial sign for the clan. Nothing at all. Yeah, and the worst part of it is the smell. This has become what appears to be the #1 waste unit for the Leaf Village. Naruto and Sasuke would enter the Hokage office, as Tsunade wasn't there. Naruto and Sasuke would make tea for themselves, and one for Tsunade. As they waited, Tsunade would return with a piece of paper. Naruto and Sasuke would clear their throats. Would you like to have some tea, oh Lady Tsunade? I didn't know I'd be having guests. Oh, sorry about that. We kind of came in uninvited. I guess we should introduce ourselves. It's fine, I just didn't know that you guys were in here. But as soon as Tsunade drank the tea, she would spit it out. You guys are Uchiha Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, aren't you? Oh, yes. We are. And with that being said, this has been What If Naruto The Ultimate Sharingan Part 5. Again, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, as I do want to hit 25k by Christmas. Now, with a small English recap. In the last part, we ended off with Naruto and Sasuke returning to the Leaf after defeating the Raikage in battle, as they had seen what they turned the Uchiha compound into, basically half waste, half city. And after seeing this, they would slip into the Hokage's office, pouring tea for themselves and Tsunade, as Tsunade would accept their gift of tea, but would spit it out after realizing who they were and identifying them as Uchiha Sasuke and Uchiha Naruto. Naruto would cross his arms. So where's the old geezer Hiruzen? Who, Lord Third? Yes, Hiruzen. That's none of your business. Well, then it's also none of your business to our location, since you've sent over 100 Anbu to look for us. We did not forget about that. But all have turned up with fatal wounds, if I'm counting. Anyhow, goodbye, Tsunade. Damn it, Tsunade would say, slamming her fist into her desk, as Naruto and Sasuke would find the rest of the Konoha 11 disappearing, not seeing Soma, as they would find Soma training in some woods, as Soma would be unaware of their presence. Naruto and Sasuke would smile, looking at Soma. She had truly grown into quite the kunoichi, as they would then appear. You've grown very strong, Soma. Wait, what? Who are you guys? You don't remember us? Naruto, Sasuke? Yes? Soma, that's who we are. What the? That's impossible. Now, we made a quick stop and thought we'd check up on you. Really? After 4 years? Soma would clench her fist, angered, because Naruto and Sasuke had left without telling her. Before they could finish a sentence, Soma would hug them both. You see, before they had left, their bond was almost like sister and brother, so them leaving made Soma very upset. Soma would ask if they could stay, as they would shake their heads, appearing near the edge of the forest. Tell Kakashi that we say hello. As they said this, they would run out of the Leaf Village and closer to the sand. Anbu would be trailing them, as Sasuke would quickly unsheathe his blade, cutting through all of them. He would then put his blade down. One by one, they would all fall to the ground, as Naruto and Sasuke would enter the Sand Village. The Sand Village's Kazekage office. Gaara would ask for their names, as they would say Naruto and Sasuke. Gaara would be surprised, as Naruto would say that it's been a very long time, Gaara. Naruto, Sasuke, and Gaara would all catch up, as Naruto and Sasuke would leave the Sand Village. Madara Uchiha would appear, as Gaara would then fight Madara, as eventually Shukaku would be pushed out by Gaara. Gaara's will did this at least, which Shukaku managed to help him. With that being said, before he could fully do so, Madara would slice off Shukaku's tail, sealing it in a scroll, as Naruto and Sasuke would quickly appear. Helping Gaara, the combined forces of Gaara, Naruto, and Sasuke were enough to hold back this now alive, fully alive Madara with the Rinnegan. Madara would then use Body Flicker to disappear, as he would tell Orochimaru that the Uchiha children that he spared had become very powerful, able to rival even his current form. Orochimaru was shocked by this, as Naruto would go to the rest of the great nations, as he would then wander with Sasuke, taking up several missions, as a 5 Kage summit would then be called. The Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails has been defeating ninja left and right in foreign villages. The Leaf would object all claims of them sending rogue ninja into foreign lands to invade. Gaara would do the same, as he met with Naruto and Sasuke, disregarding the claims that the Tsuchikage had. Madara would then appear at the 5 Kage summit, with Obito at his side, as they would declare war against the 5 great nations. I now declare the 4th Great Ninja War. As Madara appeared, Naruto and Sasuke would also, crashing into the room. They were at the summit. Oh, Madara would say, so you're back. We won't let you tarnish this world, nor the name of the Uchiha clan, and the people within. They don't want to join your stupid infinite Tsukiyomi you speak of. It's horrible. A world where we live out our ambitions in a dream? I don't know about the rest of you, but I want to live my dreams while being alive, not while being in a sleep-like state. Whilst my chakra is sapped out of me. Because that's what the infinite Tsukiyomi entails, is it not? I read the Uchiha chakra scripture, Madara. Madara had nothing to say. Who are you? Obito would ask. You see, since Madara is now alive, Obito doesn't have to pretend to be Madara, and Obito, seeing Kakashi in the room, would be prompted not to take off his mask. Naruto and Sasuke would speak. We're the people who will end this dream of yours. We're Uchiha Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. So you're the guys who beat Madara? Yes, but clearly he's still alive, and he had to have been holding back. Madara, go on to start a war. But just know, we'll be here to stop your stupid little war. Is that so? War would then be started as the allied shinobi forces would then be formed. Here we would see Naruto and Sasuke join the war and defeat many ninja. Ninja like Soma, Neji, Hinata, Shino, Kiba, Tenten, and even Rock Lee would make names for themselves in this ninja war, taking out many reanimated shinobi. Reanimated ninja would fall before the allied shinobi, like flies to the slaughter, or even lambs to the slaughter in this case. The alliance was a powerful one at that. Naruto and Sasuke would continue to prevail in this war, as they would eventually meet the reanimated versions of Itachi and Shisui, who in this timeline are not actually dead, but they thought them as reanimations, as they had thought that they had died. With that being said, they had realized that they were not dead, and would watch as they fought against Kabuto. As such, Naruto and Sasuke would join them as a battle would ensue, as you can assume the combined forces of Itachi, Shisui, Naruto, and Sasuke was enough to defeat Kabuto. Itachi would then use Izanami, losing one of his Sharingan, as Itachi would be able to get off the intense and intricate amount of time needed to perform the sacred Uchiha Jutsu, as Kabuto would undo the Edo Tensei. Each Edo Tensei would fall, as Naruto and Sasuke would ask why Itachi and Shisui did what they did all those years ago. Shisui and Itachi would tell Naruto that they had killed the clan because if they didn't, then a civil war would break out and the Leaf Village would be annihilated from surrounding nations. Inside out eradication. Oh, well then why did you keep us alive? If you're going to kill the entire clan, you have the power to. Yes, that may be true, but you two still are our brothers. And you mean the world to us, much more than any village. So we spared you. Naruto and Sasuke would fall into the arms of Shisui and Itachi. Father was proud of you too, Itachi. Naruto and Sasuke would start to cry, as Shisui would then speak. Your father was proud of both of you. Not only that, but we were proud of you. You did what we couldn't, and that was to be yourself, to never let anyone make a decision for you, and to always stay true to your ideals, to what you believe in. A few minutes would pass as Naruto and Sasuke would wipe the tears from their eyes, telling Shisui and Itachi that he needs them. And Naruto and Sasuke would then appear at the front lines, as Madara would gain his sage mode back. Naruto would then defeat each Biju with almost ease, as he was unable to get the chakra of the Nine Tails. As such, he would task Obito with taking chakra from Ginkaku and Kinkaku's reanimated bodies. And so he would, but they were gone. The reanimation had already been broken. So, a battle would continue between Naruto, Sasuke, Shisui, Itachi, and Madara. Madara would eventually, with the help of Obito, take the Nine Tails from him, with hope now being low as Madara would stomp through the rest of the ninja. Even Sasuke fell short to being able to beat Madara. Shisui thought about using Koto Nasakami as he would, but before he could do so, Madara would cut into his body, leaving him barely able to breathe, as Itachi would also fall in battle against Madara. He wasn't dead, but he sustained bad injuries, and since this is after Madara's fight with the Five Kage, we would see Madara have no more true threats, as Orochimaru would arrive. What I mean by threats is people who were a threat to him, like, say, the Five Kage, for instance. Orochimaru would arrive with the Edo Kage at his side, Minato seeing his son in dire need with a medic at his side, in this timeline being Hinata and Ino. As the skill of Sakura was unrivaled, so they would have to fill that void. As their medical knowledge isn't as high as someone like Tsunade, as such, Minato would come in, giving Naruto his half of the Nine Tails. This would keep Naruto alive, as both Naruto and Sasuke would wake up in an echoing void. Where am I? Each of them would say, as they were in the same place, but couldn't hear or see each other. Naruto and Sasuke would both lie on the ground as Naruto would stand. Does this mean that I'm dead? Naruto thought to himself as he would look intently at the Sage of Six Paths. As he would speak, I am he who shall achieve peace and order. What the? Who are you? Oh, my name. It's Hagoromo. Wait, Naruto would say. Those eyes, they're Rinnegan. I have them too. I know. I am the Sage of Six Paths. The Sage of Six Paths would then explain who he is and would have the conversation with Naruto that he had in the canon, explaining everything. Thank you, Naruto would say. The same conversation would be happening with Sasuke as well. Naruto would tell the Sage of Six Paths that they're dead, that he and Sasuke died, as the Sage of Six Paths would shake his head. No, you are in limbo. You still believe in us, even though the world is in peril and people are losing their lives as we speak? Naruto would raise his right arm, as the Sage of Six Paths would reply. Of course I believe in you two, because you two shall bring the peace that I could never achieve. With that, Hagoromo would give them both Sage of Six Paths chakra. Naruto would say thank you again, as the Sage of Six Paths would say, don't thank me. But before he could finish his sentence, Shukaku would rise up from the water beneath them, as Kurama and the rest of the 9 Biju would as well. They would then sync with Naruto, as Naruto would now be encased in a Caesium glow, as his ultimate Sharingan shined brightly in his eyes. He would then rush to Madara, as Naruto and Sasuke would arrive at the same time. They would now have the Sun and Moon seals on their hands. Naruto and Sasuke would send a flurry of attacks at the now 10-tailed Madara, who would be surprised at their might. And since this timeline is going to be a bit, I guess you could say, faster, Guy wouldn't have used the 8 gates yet. Naruto and Sasuke would then push forward as they would continue defeating Madara, making it so that Kaguya was never revived, as I believe that they would decimate Madara before Kaguya could even be revived. A dead silence would then strike the allied shinobi forces as 3 seconds would pass, and Madara had been defeated, lying before Naruto and Sasuke as both of their hands were now clenched. Silence would strike once more as the allied shinobi forces, each member who could speak would yell, "Hooray!" as they had won the 4th Great Ninja War. So this is the finale. As such, I believe that after this war, Naruto would be made into the Hokage, as his actions would be excused for saving the world. And since Sasuke never killed Danzo or any real people in power, he wouldn't go to jail. Naruto would have a child with Tenten, as I believe Naruto would marry... That was an accident. I meant to say Sasuke would have a child with Tenten, as I believe Naruto would marry Hinata. Both couples would have basically the same children, with the difference being that Sarada would have brown hair here. Psych. Sarada still has her trademark black hair. With that being said, and Sarada has no seeing issues in this timeline. Boruto and Himawari would just be Uchiha, Uzumaki, Senju, and Hyuga, meaning that Himawari would have the Sharingan and Byakugan. And since Himawari in this time is an Uchiha, I believe her drive for battle would make her want to be a ninja, with Boruto not getting either eye and getting the Jogan instead. I think from here the Uchiha compound would be rebuilt, but not as a compound, as a literal metropolis, as it would be turned into the capital of Konoha, and home to legendary Uchiha like Itachi and Shisui. In fact, Itachi and Shisui would actually settle down there, having children, as this is where I'll be ending the series. And since, this is just the original timeline saying this, the original script. Since Boruto isn't finished yet, I probably won't be continuing this further, and either way, that is the entire series. This was part 6 of What If Naruto had the Ultimate Sharingan all parts. And with that being said, make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. This was a nice video to basically semi-remaster and, record. I had a lot of fun with it, and I got a collab with my brother, so that was amazing. Yeah, go check out all the links down below, and Daikage X. Oh.